Which 1970s reggae song became a protest anthem across borders? Which one turned a small movie into a global movement? And which dub cut changed the way producers think about space, bass, and silence? Welcome to CEtrends. We're counting down 15 reggae classics that still shake the soul. Roots hymns, lovers rock chart smashers, and dub experiments that made engineers into stars. You'll hear a psalm sung as Resistance, a sweet heartbreak that hit #1 in the UK, a Black Ark masterpiece with a voice like a siren, and a Studio One reality tune that felt like midnight in slow motion. We chose songs with history, influence, and replay value, tracks that lived in sound systems, radio, and people's memories for decades. If reggae is part of your story, or you're ready to learn, this list will guide you. Stay to the end for the live version that still gives chills. Top 15 1970s Reggae Songs. We'll Never Forget starts now, at number 15. This is a song built from scripture and struggle. The lyrics draw on the Psalms, where a people far from home sing about memory, loss, and faith. In Jamaica at the start of the 1970s, those words landed with new power. The Melodians shaped them into a hymn for everyday life. Sweet three-part harmony riding a steady heartbeat of bass and drums. It sounds gentle, but it carries a quiet strength. You can hear a community speaking to itself. We remember who we are, even if the world forgets. Rivers of Babylon spread first by word of mouth and sound system. It moved from church benches to dance halls because the feeling was universal. Everyone knows exile in some form, being pushed out, pushed down, or simply overlooked. The tune gives comfort, but it also gives backbone. When the chorus rises, you feel people standing a little taller. Years later, when the song reached audiences far beyond Jamaica, it proved what reggae could do. Take a local story and make it global without losing its soul. Listen closely to the production. Nothing is rushed. The rhythm section lays a calm bed. The harmonies arrive like a hand on your shoulder. Each line invites you to sing along, not as a fan, but as part of the choir. That is why this record lasts. It is not a trend, not a trick. It is a prayer you can dance to.
All right, CEtrends fam, let's keep it real. We're pouring our hearts into bringing you the best celebrity news and music deep dives. But check it, a massive 98% of you aren't subscribed yet. Subscribing is how you can truly support us, helping us grow and create even better content. If you're vibing with what we do, take a sec to hit that subscribe button. It's free and makes a huge difference. Plus, ring that notification bell so you never miss out. Let's flip that 98% and build this CEtrends family together. Your support is everything.
I only give up my life.
Ken Boothe took a soft rock ballad and turned it into something deeply human. His voice is smooth but strong, with a touch of pain around the edges. The rhythm is relaxed, almost like a slow sway, and that groove lets the emotion breathe.
Back again. Is there someone?
You can picture a small club, lights low, a couple holding each other after a hard week. That is the magic of lovers rock. It brings the big feelings down to a personal scale. This single reached the top of the UK charts, and that matters.
And I would give anything I own.
It told a whole new audience that reggae could be intimate, not only militant or mystical. For many British listeners, this was a first real connection to Jamaican music. They didn't need to know every subgenre or studio name. They just needed to feel something honest.
Them one day, someone takes them away.
Boothe gave them that. No drama, no showy runs. Just a man telling the truth about love and loss. The arrangement is a lesson in restraint. Guitar chops are light. Keys bloom and fade like breath. The bass doesn't shout, it carries. Boothe never hurries the hook.
You may lose them one day. Someone.
When he finally opens up on the chorus, you believe him. That sincerity is why the song still works at weddings, on radios, and in quiet rooms when someone's heart is heavy. It shows reggae's softer face without losing its roots. This is the sound of ambition and resistance in one voice. The story behind it, a young man chasing a dream and crashing into a hard system, mirrors the movie it anchors. But even if you've never seen a frame of film, the song speaks clearly. The hook is simple and strong. Even when the world pushes back, you push forward. That message fit the streets of Kingston, and it also fit London, New York, Lagos, anywhere people fight to be seen. Jimmy Cliff's delivery is bright and determined. He doesn't beg, he declares. The band keeps a rolling pulse that blends rock-steady warmth with a tougher edge, like a bridge between eras.
Give them laws to know not what they've done. 'Cause as sure as
That blend helped reggae step onto the world stage. Here was music that could tell a local story and still feel universal. Music that invited you to sing the chorus even on a first listen. What makes it last is balance. The verses sketch struggle. The chorus promises dignity. The groove keeps you moving while the lyric sharpens your mind.
yes, I'd rather be.
Many songs talk about power. This one gives you a little of it back. When the last chord rings, you feel lighter. Not because the world changed in 3 minutes, but because the song reminded you that you can.
Music is what I got, baby. I want you to come on and shake it.
Toots Hibbert stands at the crossroads of gospel, soul, and reggae, and this track proves it. He sings with the warmth of a church led and the grit of a soul shouter, then drops into the one-drop pocket like it was made for him.
Baby, I want you to come on and shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it.
The groove is easy but alive. Organ bubbling, horns answering the vocal lines, guitar chopping like a metronome with swagger. If joy had a sound, it would be this rhythm section. Funky Kingston does not preach a long sermon. It invites you to feel good in your body and still keep your spirit awake.
Oh, yeah.
That balance made Toots a perfect guide for listeners who were new to reggae. You didn't need a cultural map to enter the song, you just needed ears. Still, if you look under the surface, there's a cultural handshake going on. The band is speaking to Jamaica and America at once, showing how black music travels and transforms, how a Kingston groove can hold hands with Memphis soul. The secret is Toots's phrasing. He pushes and pulls against the beat the way a great dancer leans into a step. Every yeah and ooh lands like a wink. The record is tight but never stiff, polished but never slick. It invites a party without losing its roots. That is why so many people call this a gateway track. Open the door with Funky Kingston, and a whole world of reggae opens with it.
The work was so hard. Do you remember the days of slavery?
Here, the mood turns deep and heavy. Burning Spear doesn't perform this song. He channels it. The rhythm is slow, deliberate, and strong as a drum circle. Horns don't decorate, they warn. The bass line doesn't show off. It carries a message across the river.
Do you remember the days of slavery?
When Spear sings, his voice feels carved from wood, plain, steady, and full of weight. He is not trying to entertain, he is trying to teach. The subject is the great Pan-African leader Marcus Garvey, but the song is not a history lesson in dates and places. It is a living reminder. Remember the teachers, remember the vision, remember that dignity starts in the mind.
What oh.
In the mid-70s, as roots reggae grew in power, this track stood as a pillar. It brought the sound of Nyabingi drums and the spirit of Rastafari into the heart of popular music without watering anything down.
The big fat oh.
There is controversy and story around the album mixes and how the record reached international ears, but the core of the single remains pure. Listen to how the backing vocals circle Spears' lead like elders agreeing with each line.
The big fat boat.
Listen to how the horns answer, not with flashy runs, but with short phrases that feel like underlined text. Nothing in this track is casual. Every part says, pay attention. And that is the point. Some songs lift you up for a night. This one changes how you carry yourself the next day. It tells you that reggae can be ceremony, as well as entertainment, memory, as well as melody. When it fades, the room feels quieter, as if everyone needs a second to think. Then the needle lifts, and you're ready for the next chapter. Producer magic, darker colors, and the eerie genius that was about to reshape the sound.
Day by day, no one tried.
The first thing that hits you is the voice. Junior Murvin sings in a high, clear falsetto that cuts through the air like a warning siren. Under him, the beat is slow and heavy. The bass moves like a steady march. Echo and spring reverb bounce around the drums and guitar.
In any way.
That sound comes from Lee Scratch Perry's Black Ark studio, where nothing was plain. Perry loved space, texture, and mystery. He used simple gear to build a world that felt haunted and alive at the same time. This song is more than style. It paints a picture of mid-1970s Jamaica, a time of political fight, street tension, and fear. Murvin does not shout, he reports. In his calm, almost gentle tone, you hear both sadness and strength. The chorus is simple enough for a crowd to sing, and many did, first at home, then in the UK, where the song became part of city life and youth culture. Punk bands heard it and covered it, not as a trend, but because the message and rhythm matched their own hunger for truth. Listen to how the instruments support that message. The guitar chops are short and sharp, like quick breaths. The organ sits low, barely moving, but filling the room. The drums are patient, never rushing the feeling. Perry's mix gives every sound a shadow. That shadow turns the song into a scene you can walk through. A lane at dusk, voices in the distance, and one voice rising above it all. Police and thieves in the street. You can see it, you can feel it. That is why the record lasts. It is a document and a groove at once. It proves reggae can carry the news and still make you move. Next comes a prophecy with an actual date on the calendar.
And I can see with my own eyes, it's only out.
Joseph Hill, the lead voice of culture, believed that certain days carry power. In this song, he sings about July 7th, 1977, 2 sevens, as a time of shaking and change. Whether listeners feared it or just felt it, the song landed with force. The harmonies are bright and welcoming, but the words are serious. The beat is steady and unbroken, a reminder that time keeps moving toward a moment you cannot ignore. Produced in Joe Gibbs's world of tight, ringing drums and warm bass, the track is simple and strong. Nothing shows off. Everything serves the message. Culture's three voices stacked neatly, like a crowd singing the same hope with different tones. On sound systems, the chorus became a kind of chant. In shops and buses, the title line was a headline of its own. In the UK, it helped link reggae to a broader scene of youth identity and protest. The song felt like a sign on the wall.
Strike by lightning, earthquake and thunder, I say, what?
What gives it lasting power is balance. There is urgency, but no panic. There is warning, but also wisdom. Hill does not try to predict every detail. He asks people to look around and prepare their hearts. The music leaves room for thought. You dance, but you also listen.
And sometimes I ride on bus X82.
And on the day itself, Many people in Jamaica stayed home or moved carefully. The song had made its point. Time is not only dates, it is meaning. Two sevens clash turned a calendar square into a mirror. It made listeners ask, where do I stand when history knocks? Now we step into a studio where the mixer is an instrument and silence becomes part of the beat. Dub is the art of subtraction. You take a great rhythm, strip away the lead vocal, and then rebuild the song with echo, delay, and sudden drops. In the hands of Augustus, Pablo, and King Tubby, that method becomes magic. This track rides the rhythm of Jacob Miller's Baby I Love You So. But what you hear is not a remix in the pop sense. It is a new language. The bass tells the story. The drums set the weather. And Pablo's melodica, the little keyboard you blow into, floats in and out like a voice from a dream. Tubby's mix is fearless. One moment the band is full and warm. The next, he pulls the floor from under you and lets a single snare hit echo into deep space. Then, just when you think the groove is gone, the bass returns and locks your body back into the pocket. These moves teach you how to listen. You start to hear negative space as part of the music, not a gap but a tool. It changes how producers, DJs, and fans think about sound. Why does it still feel fresh? Because the track trusts the listener. It never hurries, never begs for attention. It's confident that a strong rhythm and smart mixing can hold you for minutes at a time. And it proves a key point about reggae. Melody matters, but the engine is the rhythm section. With dub, that engine becomes the lead voice. After you live inside this record, other music sounds different. You notice the low end more. You wait for the drop. You start to crave air in the arrangement. This is not just a cornerstone of reggae. It is a blueprint for modern music across genres. We stay in a darker mood now, back to Black Ark, where politics and poetry meet a thick, smoky groove. This video is sponsored by the Lore Store on Amazon, your one-stop shop for music lovers across reggae, rock, pop, and hip-hop. We built it for real listeners who don't want to dig through 1,000 listings to find the right gear. Inside the Lore Store, you'll find 5 aisles. VIP, top, battle-tested essentials. Headphones, turntables, speakers, gig-safe earplugs, smart speakers. Reggae vibe, roots and lovers. Rock made easy, automatic decks, warm bookshelf speakers, vinyl care. Rock lore, classic rock must-haves, open back cans, simple amps, living room concert vibes. Pop lore, feel-good everyday setups, clean, clear speakers, easy streaming, nostalgia-friendly picks. Hip-hop must-haves, punchy bass without the muddle, closed-back headphones and living room systems that handle low end, plus a rotating crate of old album vinyl if you're rebuilding a 60s-90s collection. Every product page tells you who it's for, 3 pros, 1 con, and why we picked it. So you can choose with confidence. Flying soon? Check. VIP for noise canceling that tames plane roar. Mostly listening at home? Try open-back headphones that let live albums breathe. Want instant gratification vinyl? Our fully automatic turntable is 1 button from silence to music, and the record cleaning kit knocks down crackle so the bass tightens up. Headed to shows? Grab high-fidelity earplugs. Hands-free at home? Our smart speaker picks let you say, play 70s reggae or classic pop, and you're there. Deal alert. If you use the link in the description, you'll land on our curated picks with current best available Amazon pricing and active discounts where applicable. Prices change, so buy now to lock in today's deal. Tap the link in the description, pick your aisle, grab a favorite, and tell me which category you want me to build next. The Lore Store. Listen better, with gear that gets out of the way and lets the music live.
Forward, don't step backward. Step on
the title tells you the tone. This is a report from a hard season. Max Romeo sings with a weary calm, as if he has seen enough to know that bragging is useless. The band behind him, Perry's Upsetters, moves like a heavy cloud. The bass line rolls without hurry.
Grabbing at the cash box. This is the time.
The drums are deep and dry. Small guitar and keyboard details appear and vanish, as if the mix itself is fog. Perry was at a peak here, building a sound that feels both homemade and otherworldly. It is murky gold, not clean, not polished, but rich and alive.
This is the time of decision.
Romeo's writing is plain on purpose. He uses simple phrases to show complex reality. He points to the struggle many people faced in their daily lives, violence, corruption, fear, and turns those truths into a chorus anyone can sing. It is not a song for a quick party.
Grabbing at the cash box. This is the time of decision.
It is a song for a long walk home, for thinking about how to get through the week with dignity. That is why the track traveled so well. You did not have to know every detail of Jamaican politics to feel it. The feeling is universal. People in pressure fighting to keep their minds clear.
Indictive feelings ain't appealing. The truth is
The production deepens that message. Perry leaves space around the voice so each word hits. Background vocals come in like witnesses agreeing. Horn stabs are short and stern, not sweet. Nothing distracts from the spine of the tune. And yet, the groove is beautiful. You can sway to it. You can dance to it.
to step backward.
That mix, beauty carrying hard truth, is rare. It's what makes the record timeless. When it ends, you remember the line and the mood. You remember the weight, but you also remember the strength. Now the mood flips. Same era, same rhythm family, but a burst of teenage swagger climbs the charts and takes reggae into pop history. Two teenagers step to the mic and change the room. Their voices are light and confident. Their words are full of style, fashion, attitude, and playful put-downs. Under them rolls one of the great reggae foundations, the I'm Still in Love rhythm, a rhythm line that has carried many hits. Here, it moves like a relaxed parade. The bass is warm, the drums are easy, and the guitar is a soft tick-tock that keeps everything in place. What makes the record special is how effortless it feels. The singers do not push. They smile through the lines, trading phrases like friends on a street corner. You can hear the joy of being young and sure of yourself. At the same time, there's craft in every bar.
Top ranking. Uptown Top Ranking.
The call and response is tight. The timing is sharp. The chorus sticks on first listen. When UK radio picked it up, helped by a DJ who loved new sounds, the song shot up the charts. Suddenly, patois and reggae swagger were at #1. That win mattered. It proved that reggae could wear its own clothes and still rule pop. The song also shows how deep reggae culture runs. A rhythm is not just a beat, it is a shared language. Artists answer each other across years, flipping old melodies into new stories.
Love is all I bring in a khaki suit and ting.
Uptown Top Ranking is part of that conversation, and it has the best kind of reply. Light on its feet, full of charm, impossible to forget. Decades later, DJs still drop it to lift a crowd. Teen energy, classic foundation, and a hook for the ages. That is a rare combination.
Uptown Top Ranking.
From a siren falsetto to a prophecy, from dub science to political roots, and then to a joyful chart topper, these 5 songs show how wide the 1970s reggae map really is. Each track is its own doorway. Step through any one of them, and you find a world.
In mind that her love would never die, and now
Dennis Brown sings like someone who can calm a storm. His tone is warm and smooth, but there is a bruise underneath. That mix of strength and tenderness is why people call him the crown prince of reggae. Money in My Pocket existed before 1979, but the single version from that year is the one many remember.
so alone, so alone.
Joe Gibbs and his team tightened the rhythm, lifted the hook, and gave the track a clean, bright edge. The beat still sways like lovers rock, but it carries the weight of roots. The chorus lands softly and stays with you for hours.
Yeah, yeah, ooh, yeah.
The song is simple on paper, love slipping away, heartbreak you can't buy your way out of, but Dennis turns it into a confession you trust. He does not dramatize the pain. He lets it breathe. The bass walks without hurry. The guitar chops are light, like a steady clock. Small keyboard phrases bloom and fade.
See what love can do after making me feel.
Backing voices answer him with quiet sympathy. Nothing is wasted. Every bar serves the feeling. This version also marks a moment in reggae's journey. In late 70s Britain, Jamaican music had a strong presence on sound systems, in record shops, and on the charts.
Shame, yeah, yeah, to make me feel blue.
Brown's single reached the UK top 20, pulling new listeners toward reggae, who might have thought it was only protest music. Here was heartbreak sung with dignity, set to a groove you could dance to or hold someone to.
So alone, yeah.
That mix, romance and roots together, became a bridge between communities. It still works because the truth is plain. Money can't fix a broken heart, but a good song can help you carry it.
Far, far away, the King of Kings.
Some songs feel like they have always existed. Sata Masagana is one of them. The Abyssinians weave Amharic phrases and Jamaican vocal style into a hymn that sounds both ancient and new. The melody rides a minor key horn line that circles like a prayer. The drum and bass move at a measured pace, no rush, no fuss, while the voices climb and settle with the grace of a choir. It is sacred and street at the same time. This tune did not just live on records, it lived in gatherings. Sound systems played it as a ritual moment. Congregations used it as a psalm in everyday language. Musicians recognized its power and built on its foundation. Over the years, many artists recorded versions on the same Sata rhythm. That is because the song offers room to praise, room to reflect, room to stand together without saying many words. It turns a dance floor into a place of memory. Listen to the craft. The horns are not decoration, they are part of the sermon. The bass line does not show off, it carries the weight. The harmonies are close and strong, like three friends leaning into one mic. When the refrain returns, it feels less like a hook and more like a response from the whole room. Sata Massagana reminds you that reggae can be ceremony, music that teaches, heals, and holds a community in one steady time. After it fades, the air feels different, like a bell has just rung.
Legalize it, yeah.
Peter Tosh sang with a straight spine. He did not hedge or soften his point. Legalize It is a perfect example, a clear demand wrapped in a lazy, unshakable groove. The tempo is unhurried, the bass is heavy and sure. The drums keep a relaxed one drop that opens space for the message. Tosh's voice sits right in the middle, calm, unblinking, and firm. He lists everyday people who use the herb, not to shock but to make a simple case. This is part of life, and it should not be a crime. At the time, the stance was risky. Some stations would not play it. Some people tried to dismiss it as a stunt.
Legalize it, yeah.
But the song refused to fade because it worked on two levels. It was a slogan people could chant, and it was also a strong piece of music. The melody is easy to sing. The rhythm is built to last. You can press repeat and let the idea settle in. That is how real change often begins. In a tune you can carry down the street.
Years of instruments too.
Over the decades, laws and attitudes shifted in many places, and the song kept its power. It became a banner at concerts and a shorthand in debates. But beyond policy, Legalize It stands for something bigger in reggae, the right to speak plainly about your world.
Doctors smoking.
Tosh believed the artist's job was to tell the truth and take the heat that comes with it. This track does exactly that, and it still sounds fresh because confidence never goes out of style. Late 70s Kingston had a certain mood, pressure in the air, long shadows at dusk, and music that moved slow but hit deep. Armagideon Time catches that mood in a few spare elements. The foundation is a classic Studio One rhythm, steady and unshakable. The bass walks with quiet authority. The organ bubbles like breath under the surface. The drums give you room to think between each hit. On top of this, Willie Williams delivers lines that feel like warnings written on a wall. He does not shout the message, he speaks it with patience. That makes it heavier. Lines about hunger, struggle, and judgment fall into place over the beat and keep echoing after the song ends. The arrangement is minimal on purpose. When a rim shot snaps or the organ swells, you notice it, because there is space around every sound. That space becomes part of the storytelling. It teaches you to listen for what is not said as much as for what is said. The track also traveled in an unexpected way. In the UK, post-punk bands and DJs gravitated to its slow swing and stark beauty. One famous cover pushed it onto rock stages without stripping away its roots. That crossover did not dilute the song, it proved its strength. Armagideon Time is built on the essentials, a rhythm that holds you, a voice that warns you, and a truth you cannot argue with. It is the sound of a city after sunset, when the day's noise dies down and the real talk begins.
All right, CEtrends fam, let's keep it real. We're pouring our hearts into bringing you the best celebrity news and music deep dives. What? Check it. A massive 98% of you aren't subscribed yet. Subscribing is how you can truly support us, helping us grow and create even better content. If you're vibing with what we do, take a sec to hit that subscribe button. It's free and makes a huge difference. Plus, ring that notification bell so you never miss out. Let's flip that 98% and build this CEtrends family together. Your support is everything.
The studio version is lovely. The live version is the one people carry in their hearts. Recorded in London in 1975, it captures a crowd turning into a choir and a band finding the perfect temperature. Warm organ, patient drums, bass like a steady hand on your back. Bob Marley sings with a kind of gentle authority.
You see, I remember.
He remembers hard times without shame and promises comfort without pretending life is easy. The chorus rises and the whole room answers. For a few minutes, strangers sound like family. This performance shows what reggae can do at its highest level. Take a very local story and make it feel like everybody's story. The verses point back to a yard in Kingston. Simple meals, shared burdens, small joys. The message is clear. We got through those days together, and we will get through the next ones the same way.
You see, I remember.
When the audience joins, the idea becomes real in front of your ears. Music does not just report community here, it builds it. There is another quiet truth inside the song. Marley credited it to his friend Vincent Ford, a man known for helping feed people in Trenchtown. Royalty checks from this classic helped keep that work alive.
So dry your tears, I say.
So the comfort in the lyric, "Everything is gonna be all right," was matched by action in the real world. That gives the record an extra light. It is not only a memory or a promise, it is a lifeline that kept moving long after the encore. This is why the live "No Woman, No Cry" sits at the top of so many lists.
In the government yard in Trenchtown.
It is not the flashiest performance. It is not the most complex arrangement. It is the one that makes a room of thousands feel held. Decades later, people still sing it at weddings and funerals, in joy and in grief, because it speaks a language everyone knows. We have seen hard days, we will see more, and we are not alone.
No.
If you enjoyed this episode, then go watch this video.